Welcome back to Dreamy Train Tales. Thank you for joining me tonight. Now let's settle down and begin our journey together. If this brings you peace, please like and subscribe so we can explore more historic railways together, but only if it truly helps you unwind. And if you'd like, please share in the comments where you're listening from and what time of day it is for you right now. Tonight, you find yourself at the station in Lyon, where spring air carries the fragrance of blossoms drifting down from trees that line the platforms. The city hums softly behind you, its morning streets filled with footsteps, the calls of merchants, and the gentle ring of bells from distant churches. The sky is pale and clear, washed with the delicate light of early day, and the warmth of spring is rising, though the air still holds a coolness that brushes your cheeks. The platform is alive with travelers, some clutching satchels, others pausing in conversation, their voices mingling with the hiss of steam from the waiting engine. The Orient Express stands ready, its polished carriages gleaming, brass fixtures catching the sunlight, and the long line of windows glowing faintly with the light of lamps within. Steam curls from the iron engine, drifting upward in lazy swirls, mingling with the sweet fragrance of lilacs blooming nearby. Before we step aboard, take a moment to settle where you are. Let your shoulders ease down, your breath slow, and your thoughts quiet. Inhale gently, as if drawing in the warmth of spring itself, and release with a slow exhale, letting go of the weight of the day. Feel yourself carried already by the rhythm of anticipation, the sense of calm that comes with journeys begun. You step up into the carriage, the wood polished smooth beneath your hand, and are welcomed by the glow of soft lamplight. Inside, upholstered seats in deep tones invite you to rest, the scent of polished oak mingling with faint traces of coffee and fresh bread carried from the dining car. Passengers arrange themselves with quiet excitement, some gazing out the wide windows, others adjusting their coats and hats before settling in. You take your seat, the cushion firm yet yielding beneath you, and feel warmth gather in your body, spreading gently as though the train itself has wrapped you in welcome. The conductor moves along the platform, checking watches, signaling with a raised hand. The whistle sounds, long and low, its note carried into the morning air, mingling with the distant bells of Lyon. Slowly the train exhales, wheels shifting, the platform sliding past as the journey begins. Figures on the platform wave, their voices fading, their shapes dissolving into the light as the city drifts away behind. The Orient Express, introduced in the 1880s, was renowned not only for speed but for elegance, carrying passengers across Europe in unmatched comfort. By the turn of the century, it had become a legend, its name spoken with reverence, a symbol of connection and adventure. Today, as you ride through the French countryside, you feel part of that history, its grace and its promise surrounding you like the gentle sway of the carriage. The train moves steadily now, leaving behind the streets of Lyon and entering the rolling countryside. Blossoms drift in the air as orchards line the tracks, their branches heavy with flowers that scatter petals into the breeze. The air through the window is soft, carrying notes of earth newly warmed by the Sunday. You lean back, shoulders settling deeper into the seat, and allow the rhythm of the train to guide your breath. slow and steady, like the motion of the land itself. Fields stretch outward, divided by stone walls and winding lanes, dotted with villages where tiled rooftops gleam in the morning light. Church towers rise above, bells chiming faintly as the train passes, their sound blending with the steady clicking of wheels on the rails. Children run along fences, waving as the train passes, their laughter trailing behind like ribbons in the wind. You smile softly, the sight warming you, a reminder of life's simple joys carried along with the grandeur of the journey. In the dining car, stewards prepare for the morning, setting tables with white linen and silver, the clink of china adding a delicate rhythm to the train's song. The scent of fresh coffee drifts through the corridor, mingling with butter and bread, a promise of comfort ahead. You close your eyes for a moment, breathing deeply, letting the aroma fill you, then opening them again to the countryside rolling past, a landscape both timeless and alive. The train curves gently, the motion smooth, guiding you deeper into relaxation. Vineyards appear now, rows of vines stretching across the land, their early leaves a vibrant green against the soil. Farmers move quietly among them, tending the earth with steady hands, their figures framed against a backdrop of hills rising gently into the distance. This is the heart of Provence, where wine has flowed for centuries, and you sense the continuity of history, the way each season shapes the land, each year leaving its mark upon the vines. The journey has only just begun, yet already you feel the calm settle over you, the rhythm of the train, the glow of the morning, the quiet unfolding of spring. You lean into the cushion, the sway of the carriage rocking you gently, each sound and sight blending into one seamless lullaby, carrying you deeper into stillness as the Orient Express moves gracefully toward its path through Provence. The train glides further into the heart of Provence, its wheels singing a steady, unhurried song as the countryside unfolds in a sweep of color and light. Morning deepens into late morning now, the sun climbing higher, softening the cool edges of spring air and warming the hillsides. Through the wide windows, you watch fields stretch outward, each one alive with fresh growth, a tapestry of greens threaded with blossoms in white and pale pink. The air drifting through the slight crack of your window is fragrant, carrying scents of tilled earth, wild herbs, and faint traces of flowers borne on the breeze. You rest your hand on the polished wood of the window frame, feeling its smooth surface beneath your fingertips, warm from the sunlight pouring into the carriage. The gentle sway rocks you in rhythm with the motion of the train, each turn of the wheels creating a cadence that settles into your breath. Around you, passengers shift quietly in their seats, their conversations low and soothing, blending into the background like the hum of bees in a distant orchard. Villages rise and fall along the tracks, each one with stone cottages, red-tiled roofs, and shutters painted in soft blues and greens. Laundry flutters on lines strung across narrow lanes, and women stand at doorways calling gently to children playing in the Sunday. The train passes these scenes quickly, yet you feel their simplicity linger, as though the land itself wishes you to carry them with you. Church bells sound again from tall towers, their tones clear and bright, reaching out across the fields to meet the steady rhythm of the rails. This part of France has long been known for its vineyards, and now the train passes through stretches of land where vines grow in neat rows across gentle slopes. The leaves are fresh, tender, bright against the soil, and workers tend them carefully, their straw hats visible even at a distance. You watch as they pause, leaning on tools, gazing toward the train, before returning to their quiet work. The site carries a timeless quality, unchanged by years, as though each season of growth repeats a story that has been told for centuries. The Orient Express was celebrated not only for its luxury, but for the way it brought travelers face to face with such landscapes, making the journey itself an experience of wonder. In the early 1900s, passengers spoke of these vineyards with reverence, their wines already renowned, their culture deeply tied to the land. To travel through them was to glimpse the heartbeat of Provence, the rhythm of soil, sun, and human care intertwined. The dining car beckons now, and you rise to stretch, walking slowly through the corridor, your steps steady against the gentle sway. Inside, the air is filled with warmth, the scent of fresh bread and fruit carried from the kitchen. Tables are laid with linen and polished silver, the morning light streaming through windows onto cups of steaming coffee and bowls of ripe strawberries. You take your seat, the chair firm and welcoming, and sip slowly, letting the flavors unfold on your tongue, simple yet comforting. The steward moves gracefully between tables, his hands sure as he pours coffee and arranges plates. Around you, passengers speak in soft tones, their words carrying accents from across Europe, voices mingling into a gentle hum. Some read papers, others gaze out the windows, lost in thought, while a few lean close, their quiet laughter rippling through the calm. The atmosphere is unhurried, timeless, every detail designed to soothe, to allow each moment to unfold with ease. You linger with your cup, watching as the train glides past orchards now, branches heavy with blossoms that scatter petals into the breeze. The petals swirl in the air, catching sunlight, drifting downward like snow, though the air is warm, fragrant, alive with spring. The sight fills you with calm, your chest rising and falling slowly, as though your body has taken on the same rhythm as the land itself. Back in your seat, the motion of the train greets you again, its sway soft, its sound steady. The windows reveal fields stretching outward, dotted with wildflowers in hues of yellow and violet, their colors vivid against the fresh green grass. The hills roll gently, their slopes lined with cypress trees standing tall and narrow, their silhouettes distinct against the brightening sky. You let your eyes follow these forms, each one guiding your gaze upward, as though leading your thoughts into stillness, into ease. A small river winds beside the track, its waters clear and swift, carrying light along its surface. Bridges span it here and there, their arches reflected in the flow. Stonework weathered but strong, a reminder of centuries of passage. The train follows its course, the sound of rushing water mingling faintly with the click of wheels, a harmony of movement that soothes your ears and quiets your mind. The countryside grows quieter now, villages more distant, fields more open. You see farmers guiding carts pulled by horses, their wheels leaving soft tracks in the soil. Smoke rises from chimneys where meals are prepared, blending with the scent of fresh growth carried by the breeze. The air feels warm against your skin, yet gentle, never heavy, its softness a gift of spring. As the train curves, vineyards return, sprawling across the hillsides, their rows neat and endless, disappearing into the horizon. You imagine the taste of the wine they will one day produce, the laughter of gatherings it will accompany, the stories it will carry forward. The thought makes you smile softly, your shoulders sinking lower, your body surrendering more fully to the comfort of the carriage. Above all, it is the rhythm that carries you now, the steady sound of steel against steel, the gentle rocking that cradles your body, the unbroken continuity of motion that allows your thoughts to drift. You find yourself no longer focused on any single sight, but instead on the way they flow together, one into another, seamless and calm, like waves on a quiet sea. The morning has passed into afternoon, and still the train moves steadily, weaving its way through the vineyards and villages of Provence. The journey continues, its rhythm unchanging, its motion gentle, guiding you deeper into rest, deeper into quiet, deeper into the heart of spring. You lean back against the velvet seat, the fabric soft beneath your shoulders, and let the steady swaying of the Orient Express lull you into a deeper calm. The polished wood of the cabin gleams softly in the afternoon light, catching reflections of the brass fixtures and the golden glow of the lamps. Through the tall window, the landscape stretches wide and open, shifting slowly with each mile, a panorama of color and calm. The vineyards give way to rolling hills, where lavender fields stretch like oceans of purple. Even though the flowers will not reach their full bloom until summer, the rows are already alive with the first stirrings of color, the plants spreading in endless ribbons across the land. In your imagination, the fragrance rises, soft and calming, mingling with the gentle rhythm of the train. You breathe in deeply, and though no scent passes through the glass, the thought alone relaxes you, loosens the muscles in your jaw, eases the space behind your eyes. Beyond the lavender, orchards spread across the hillsides, their branches dressed in blossoms of pink and white. Petals flutter in the breeze, scattering across the fields like confetti, drifting down into the grasses and rivers below. Farmers tend the trees, their movements slow and practiced, their wide hats shading them from the afternoon sunday. You watch from your carriage as though from another world, safe within the embrace of the train, carried gently past a living painting. The line curves along the edge of a valley, where a stone viaduct rises from the ground. Its arches stand tall and strong, carrying the railway over a sparkling river that winds its way through the Provençal hills. As the wheels touch the bridge, the rhythm changes. The sound becomes sharper, more hollow, echoing against stone and water. For a moment you feel suspended, gliding above the landscape, the river glinting below like a ribbon of light. Then the sound softens again, the bridge past, the rhythm returning to its steady, soothing pace. This railway, you recall, was more than a feat of engineering. When the southern extension of the Orient Express was completed in the late 19th century, it opened the path for travelers from Paris to reach the warmth of the Mediterranean in unmatched comfort. What had once been days of arduous travel could now be accomplished in a single, elegant journey. In the 1900s, the line stands as a marvel, a union of progress and luxury, a promise of connection between distant worlds. Your eyes follow the passing cottages, their walls of pale stone glowing in the light, their shutters painted in soft blues and greens. Children wave from a path beside the track, their laughter unheard but somehow present. A woman carries a basket of freshly gathered herbs, the scent of rosemary and thyme imagined as though the breeze had carried it into the carriage. The land is alive, not only with fields and farms, but with people whose lives unfold quietly, timelessly, against the backdrop of hills and valleys. The gentle cadence of the train matches the steady rhythm of your breath. You notice your chest rising and falling slowly, the space between each inhale and exhale widening as calm deepens within you. The movement of the train is like a cradle, rocking you in patterns older than memory, soothing you with each sway, each subtle shift of weight. The countryside grows more dramatic as the line bends toward higher ground. The train begins to climb gently, the engine working with a deeper strength. Outside, hills fold into one another, their slopes covered in olive groves and rows of vines that climb the terraced earth. Small stone chapels sit perched on ridges, their bells silent in the afternoon light. The sun hangs lower now, casting long shadows, turning the colors of the fields to gold. Another viaduct appears, this one longer, its arches stretching far across a gorge where a stream runs in flashes of silver. The Orient Express glides across it as though weightless, the view opening wide to show the sweep of the valley, the orchards spread below, the lavender fields beyond. You let your eyes soften, not focusing on any single detail but on the whole, letting the landscape wash over you in waves of calm. The hills grow steeper, the train entering short tunnels carved from stone. Each one brings a moment of darkness, the lamps inside glowing brighter, the sound shifting into a muffled roar that fades as quickly as it begins. Emerging into light again feels like awakening, the countryside revealed anew, always different, always familiar. It is a rhythm of concealment and revelation, shadow and glow, echo and silence. As the line levels again, the view widens. A plain stretches before you, dotted with villages whose roofs gleam red against the green fields. Smoke rises in soft spirals from chimneys, drifting lazily into the sky. A farmer leads an ox-drawn cart along a narrow road, its wheels carving shallow grooves into the dust. Children play at the edge of a stream, their laughter bright in your imagination, as vivid as the birds circling overhead. The train's movement becomes almost imperceptible, so smooth that you could almost believe you were floating. Your eyelids grow heavy, though you remain gently awake, resting in that twilight space between thought and dream. The sounds of the carriage become softer, more distant, as though they belonged not to the world outside, but to the rhythm of your own body. The landscape continues to change, each scene unfolding with deliberate grace. Fields of wheat, their stalks just beginning to green with the promise of harvest, wave in the breeze like an inland sea. Shepherds guide their flocks across hillsides, the sheep moving in patterns like drifting clouds. Vineyards return, their rows neat and endless, stretching toward the horizon. The rhythm holds you steady, your mind drifting with each sight, each sound, each breath. The Rhone Valley approaches, its wide river shimmering beneath the lowering sunday. In the distance, faint outlines of Avignon's towers and bridges appear, though still far away. The promise of arrival lingers, but the journey continues, unhurried, carrying you deeper into stillness. The afternoon light softens into early evening, colors deepening into amber and rose. Lavender fields darken into shadowed violet, vineyards glow in warm gold, orchards fall into quiet shade. The train glides through it all, steady, timeless, carrying you not only across the land but into a deeper calm within yourself. The journey is not yet finished, and yet you feel complete, as though each mile has carried you closer not only to Avignon but to rest itself. You remain within the rhythm, within the gentle sway, within the timeless calm of spring in Provence. The descent into Avignon begins gently, the train slowing as the hills roll downward, as though the land itself is guiding you towards stillness. The rhythm, once strong and steady, now softens into something more subdued, more delicate. The sun hangs low over the horizon, casting golden light across the Rhone valley, where the broad river glimmers like polished glass. Inside the carriage, lamps glow with quiet warmth. Their golden halos reflect on the brass fixtures and the polished wooden panels, creating a cocoon of comfort as daylight fades. The curtains at the window catch the last of the sun's rays, their fabric glowing softly in the evening light. You feel the calm deepen within you, your breath slow, your shoulders heavy, the world outside and inside blending into a single hush. Through the window, the countryside drifts past in shadows and color. Vineyards slope downward toward the riverbanks, their rows glowing amber in the fading Sunday. Farmers walk homeward with their tools slung over their shoulders, their figures long against the earth. A dog runs beside a cart, its wheels rattling gently along a dirt track. These final glimpses of rural life seem timeless, as though unchanged for centuries, the rhythm of daily work flowing in harmony with the rhythm of the train. The first lights of Avignon appear faintly in the distance, tiny sparks against the darkening sky. You can almost sense the weight of history in their glow. This city, once the seat of the papacy, has stood for centuries as a crossroads of culture and faith. Its great Palais des Papes rises above the skyline, a fortress of stone that has seen processions, councils, and centuries of change. From your seat, you feel the quiet grandeur of that history waiting ahead, carried on the evening air. The train slows further as it approaches the famous bridge, the Pont Saint-Benazet, whose arches stretch into the river like the memory of a song half remembered. Only part of the bridge remains, its stones reaching toward the far bank but stopping short, unfinished, beautiful in its incompleteness. You watch as the arches glide past your window, glowing softly in the twilight, reflected in the waters below. The river flows steadily, carrying centuries of memory. Within the carriage, the movement becomes almost imperceptible. You feel more than hear the rhythm, as though the train itself has quieted to match the stillness of evening. The lamps glow brighter now, their warm light soothing your eyes as dusk folds over the land. A steward moves softly along the corridor, his footsteps hushed on the carpet, his presence gentle, unobtrusive. The world has slowed to a whisper, and you are carried within it, safe, cocooned, serene. The station draws near. You can see its lanterns glowing ahead, casting long shadows across the stone platforms. Voices drift faintly, the murmur of travelers gathering, the calls of porters preparing for arrival. Yet even these sounds are subdued, softened by the evening air, woven into the rhythm of rest. The brakes sigh gently, a long exhale, and the wheels ease against the rails, the pace slowing until at last the train glides into stillness. Avignon surrounds you now, its towers rising above the rooftops, its ancient walls embracing the station. The Orient Express has completed this stretch of its journey, but for you the rhythm remains, lingering in your body, in your breath, in your thoughts. You stay seated for a while, letting the calm settle deeper, letting the quiet embrace you fully. The platform outside is alive with soft movement. Passengers step down, their coats brushing the evening air, their footsteps quick and light. A carriage waits at the station's edge, horses shifting gently in their harnesses. Lanterns flicker, casting golden pools of light across the cobblestones, yet within your carriage the world is still. You remain cocooned in warmth, surrounded by the echoes of the journey, resting in the glow of the lamps. You let your gaze soften, no longer searching for detail, no longer following the movement outside. The window becomes only a blur of color and light, a gentle painting fading into night. The rhythm of the train has ceased, yet its memory rocks you still, an inner sway that carries you toward calm, toward sleep, toward peace. The journey has ended, but the story remains within you. Provence has passed outside your window, its lavender hills, its vineyards, its orchards, each one a brushstroke of serenity. Avignon waits beyond the glass, but here in your seat, you need not rise, you need not move. The Orient Express has given you its gift, motion and stillness, distance and rest, a bridge between waking and dreaming. The evening deepens into night. Lamps glow softly, voices fade beyond the platform, and you remain where you are, safe within the warmth of the train, ready for sleep. As this gentle spring journey draws to its close, you feel the Orient Express resting quietly in Avignon, its great heart stilled, its rhythm softened into silence. The lavender hills and orchards of Provence remain vivid in your memory, glowing like dreamscapes carried forward into the night. You let your breath deepen, each inhale drawing in calm, each exhale releasing the last fragments of tension. Your shoulders sink into ease, your arms resting heavily at your sides. Even though the train has stopped, you still feel the subtle motion of its sway, the gentle rocking of its rhythm, echoing through your body. It is a memory of travel, but also a lullaby, soothing you into perfect rest. The glow of lamps within the carriage softens, golden light fading into warmth. Beyond the window, lanterns on the platform shimmer faintly, but they are distant now, as though belonging to another world. The voices of travelers, the shuffle of footsteps, the murmur of the city, all grow dimmer, dissolving into the quiet of night. What remains is silence, steady and safe, a silence that welcomes you into peace. The Orient Express has carried you across the vineyards, the bridges, and the lavender hills, but its greatest gift is not distance traveled. It is stillness, a quiet place within you, where the rhythm of wheels becomes the rhythm of breath, and the passage of miles becomes the passage into sleep. Your eyelids grow heavy now, thoughts scattering like petals on a soft breeze, dissolving as they settle. You no longer need to follow the horizon or watch the fields pass. The journey has brought you here, to this moment of rest, to this cradle of calm. Sweet dreams and good night.